Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And I promise you this, above all else, I'm going to be more obnoxious, more overbearing, and I'm going to make you all learn to love it because you'll have no choice.
It's time!
Welcome to the Probably Wrong Podcast. Tony, Mike, no Dave, Matty P. We are caffeinated, 2/3 of us, and aggravated, and we're about to take it out on you.
No Dave to react to your slogan tonight.
Yeah, he's probably laughing at home. He's like, wow, that's pretty good. I've never heard that before.
He said he loves it. He just texted me. He loves it.
The best, it was just classic. You did that for 3 shows in a row.
Yeah, at least a month.
And then all of a sudden, he heard it and just starts giggling away, laughing.
Like a little schoolboy.
That's classic, Dave.
Don't forget to everyone listening out there on Spotify and iTunes. You can also catch us on YouTube, see us, watch all the reels. Instagram at Probably Wrong Podcast, whatever the heck it is. Facebook, which you're all watching now. And don't forget to check out MP Sports Cards for all your latest. I don't even have a slogan. You go right ahead.
Oh, your latest sports, non-sports, and gaming? Sure, that's us.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was good.
Can you fix your phone so you can fix his phone? Because
It's a lot happening.
it's a lot.
So
Looks like it's Emily's birthday. Can we wish Emily a happy birthday?
Yes, happy birthday, Emily.
Emily.
It's a big day.
Yeah, big day for you.
Did you venture out to Alice in Chains with him on Saturday?
I got there a little bit late because I got to inject my cat with insulin at 9 p.m. So I got there for Tool. So I missed Alice in Chains, which I love Alice in Chains. Tool, I'm not a huge fan of Tool. I feel like Tool has like a small group of followers. You have to really like their music. Not as mainstream. It was okay.
Tool on
Yeah.
your toes.
I think Dave said that he left. He didn't watch the Tool set.
We watched a little bit of the Tool and then we left. And then we hit up a few bars after that. So
Man, Tool's some good music, isn't it? Really?
yeah, they had but I just feel like Alice in Chains was more mainstream.
Sure.
I recognized a lot more of their songs. Tool,
Where were these guys playing at?
New World Tavern in Plymouth.
Isn't that kind of a small place too?
Yeah, it's they have a little
Back room? Is
back room, yes.
It's actually surprisingly big in the back room, though, for what it is. It's like a...
Never been there.
I don't know if I'd
go out.
listen to Tool in that back room.
Nah, it's
but,
a little tight for Tool.
Maybe Evanescence, a little lighter.
Yeah.
A little easier on the ears.
They probably had about 50 people in that back room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Evanescence. That's my,
yeah,
my favorite.
it's a huge sausage fest.
I don't even know who Evanescence is.
What? Oh, my Evanescence? You don't know? Oh, my goodness. Of course, you don't know Amy Lee?
No.
Did she die? Or was that the Cranberries lady?
That might be the Cranberries.
Can you sing me a little?
You know Evanescence.
Evanescence.
No, I can't.
Oh,
I can't place
100%.
it.
They had some good songs. I can't think of their song, but the girl was like a punk rock, like kind of hot, black hair.
I'm kind of like thinking like chanting music.
No.
Evanescence.
I can't think of the main song. I mean, that's
they have one like really big hit.
They had one really big hit.
And the big hit, I mean, listen, I got them.
Jason Emlich chimes in, I need MP to check out some cards to grade.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to look it up, but I don't know what that was, so we're just gonna skip over it.
Scary there.
Dave says first part of the show was great.
Bring Me to Life. You listen to the song, you're gonna. If you don't know Evanescence,
you'll know that
that's
song.
their most popular.
Bring Me to Life.
Bring Me to Life.
It's funny how I can do all this stuff, but yet when we're on show and live, I just can't touch buttons, can't do anything.
You got to drink the alert. It'll make you a little bit smarter.
Bring Me to Life. Evanescence. I have no idea.
Great
what
song.
this is.
Skip the commercial.
Yeah, it's literally.
Yep, this is great radio right here.
Yeah. Everybody at home's pissed off right now.
It's like, we got to listen to Evanescence. What'd this guy do?
So, even though Dave is not here tonight, don't forget that he will be at the New England for the Hobby card show this weekend. So go check out his table, because he's going to hopefully be selling me some stuff today. Oh, here we go. Okay, I already know who this is. Yep. Okay. all that for
Problem solved.
YouTube will hit you for copyright infringement. You'll be on the ban list.
Yeah.
All right, so Evanescence is back here. He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you. Now we can focus back to the show.
Here we go.
Sorry.
Jason, please stop in anytime. We're open until 7 o'clock during the day. We can help you on the grading review.
Yeah. And you can also help on the eBay selling. So that I failed miserably at, and I was telling him.
What were you trying to sell?
I'm trying to sell cards, and I'm just not good at it.
No.
And I got to listen to Dave go, I sold another one. I'm like,
he's rubbing it in. He's a one-up.
I don't get
guy.
notifications. I miss sales. This is very difficult to do.
It's once you learn it, though, it's not. But I've been doing it for 8 years, so it's hard to go back to the beginning to remember how difficult it was.
I'm paying fees. I'm doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, not for me.
The nickname is Feebay, but I'll tell you, you can argue that you're not going to sell cards at the same rate by going in any other platform. So it works.
No. And Dave just chimes in here. Just if you go check out the show this weekend, he's going to have plenty of hockey cards. So he's really trying to bring hockey to the New England for the Hobby card shows.
Do people buy hockey cards?
They do.
If I go by what Joshua Hoy said a couple weeks ago, no.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
We sell a lot of hockey cards. Seriously.
At his shop. So maybe Dave should set up a booth at your shop.
It's education of what it is, right? I guess people wouldn't randomly go around buying, hockey cards because it's not as popular of a sport.
Yeah.
But
what if Dave just set up a booth right out front of your store?
that'd be amazing. Sure. Anyone can help.
There you
out,
go, Dave.
It's
There you go, Dave.
I'll even pay for your insurance. Whatever's easy.
So, let's get to the hot topic. We have 2 hot topics. One, some breaking news that you just brought to me before the show, the Karen Reed.
Karen Reed. And I want people chiming in about Karen Reed.
Okay, all right. But first, do you guys know Rafael Devers got traded?
Yeah, I heard he got traded, to the San Francisco Giants for a bag of baseballs.
I'm happy with that bag of baseballs.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that the San Francisco Giants picked up the whole contract.
Yes.
I'll be happier if the Red Sox spend that $30 million this upcoming offseason. I think that this kind of automatically kills the season, it feels like. I don't know if they can hang in there, especially with Bregman out.
Bregman's back in 2 weeks. They said
2 weeks,
today.
yeah, hopefully. I just don't know if you need that scary bat in your lineup, and they only have, I like Bregman. He's not a scary bat. Devers is a scary bat. Any pitcher facing Devers has to throw pitches under stress, and that impacts the pitcher throughout the whole lineup. I think when he started acting like a diva and started causing a lot of issues, you almost had no choice but to get rid of him. And the fact that the whole salary was picked up, I think that's a good thing.
How about the fact that no player that played with him
gave 2 shits about him?
2 shits.
Well, that means it was even worse than we know.
That's not one player. I think Story might have had something that you could say was somewhat nice. He was the only one that showed any kind of caring that he was gone.
Yeah.
Every other player in that locker room was like, oh, okay, all right, let's move on.
Durant said he took a nap on the plane. Yeah, and then I guess the GM went to the locker room to talk to them about it in Seattle, and the players we don't need to know.
Yeah, Walker Buehler's I'm glad this is finally over. Right?
It's unnecessary drama, right? The fact that he was so adamant about not being able to switch positions was the big problem. And as soon as he goes to the Giants, he's like, yeah, I'll play first base.
I knew that was going to happen.
Where do you guys want me?
Yeah.
So they see that, and now all of a sudden they're realizing that he wasn't a team player. It was all about him. As soon as he didn't get his way, he threw his tantrum, and this is exactly what happened. Listen, I'm not even a Red Sox fan, but they could have hung on to him until the All-Star break, put themselves in a way better position, and still probably got the deal. So this was an early trade because he needed to go because of the toxicity.
Yeah.
But how do you think? So if he's that toxic, and we talked about it every week on the show, going something is wrong with this team.
Yeah.
And if he's that toxic, there's only a matter of time before the rest of these guys are just
cashed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have there's no way of bringing that ship back.
And he also has an injury history of injuries. So you wait 3 weeks, and then that shoulder goes again. He missed the last few months of the season last year. That's why, or he pulls a muscle. I think the fact that San Fran took on the whole contract, just get him out of here, and the season's over, in my opinion.
See, I don't think so.
You don't think so? I hope not.
I'm one of the losers that think addition by subtraction.
Yeah, maybe.
And I know people are like, I've been hearing it all day, Mike, you're an idiot. And I think this is one of the cases that is addition by subtraction. Because Rafael Devers right now, in this last month, is as hot as we've ever seen him.
Yeah, this is the best
now,
he's ever been.
You watch baseball. Yeah. You watch baseball. What does Rafael Devers do every single year? He's up, and then he's down.
Well, he usually has some injuries that go along with it.
So it's sell him now while he's hot, because this production isn't going to stay all year.
No, this is the best he's ever looked. I was talking to my brother, and he's like, people are like, oh, he's like Ortiz and Manny. He's not like Ortiz and Manny. I think he's had 2 years where he hit 30 homers.
So I have some stats for you.
Okay.
All right? Jake chimes in here. Too many young guys could have affected them in the
100%.
Yep. It was already affecting Campbell.
Yeah, and I guess he gave Campbell shit for wanting to help out the team by playing first. So you can't have that kind of guy around these young players. Or nobody wants to be around people like that.
So would you consider, right, just by what we see, not looking at the stats here, Rafael Devers a top 20 player in Major League Baseball?
I would say a top...
Statistically, yes.
I would say a top 20 feared hitter to face. He's had some injuries, so sometimes the stats don't look as good. Like last year, I think he ended with 29 homers, 80 RBIs. He missed a good portion and had the injury as well. But he is a scary bat.
But if you look at the numbers every year going back to 2019, he is average. He's cracked the top 20 once in batting average in 2022. He's cracked the top 20 twice in home runs, only as high as 8 in the league. In RBIs, he's only cracked the top 10 once in 2021. Right? Even if you want to go, so those are the main characteristics I look at as a hitter: average, home run, and hits. But if you even want to go to WAR, that stat that's catching on, he has number 16 in 2019 in WAR. The rest of the years, his highest he was in the league was number 33.
Right? Yeah.
It's just like you look at
but that also accounts for defense too, and that's wins above replacement. And defensively, he is the worst.
But that's awful. I didn't even want to put defensive stats in here.
Yeah. But if you just did hitting, his WAR would be a lot better.
Like I'm looking at hit like RBIs. He's constant number 27 in the league, number 39 in the league. The only year that he was up number 16, he was tied with 6 other players. If I rattle off these names, Marcus Semien. Yeah,
sorry. Finished in the top 3 in MVP one year.
But it's just. I know, and I'm not using these stats to bash him, because watching him here as a Red Sox fan, you liked him, and it's almost, you do the eye test. It looked better than what the stats backed it up to be.
Yeah, he's a scary hitter.
And his hot streaks.
Yeah, and then, I mean, we saw him earlier in the season. He wasn't so scary. He was scary for us fans. But regardless, when a guy's acting like that, he won't run out a ground ball at Yankee Stadium in a crucial game, but yet feels like he should be taking ground balls at shortstop, defensive ground balls at shortstop. No coach told him to go to shortstop and take ground balls. He wouldn't even take ground balls at first. So he's mocking the whole situation by putting his glove on and taking. So I think they all lost control of him. He was on his own island. It's time for him to go. And it looks like the players really don't care. It looks like they're all sick of him too.
And that speaks volumes.
Yeah, 100%.
Listen, you guys got a lot of young talent now. Christian Campbell, Roman Anthony, Marcel Mayer. That's where the excitement is. Not to mention, these guys could still take them to the playoffs and create this. You need the right environment, and I still don't understand why baseball is not paying attention to defense more and talking more about these players that are more complete. And honestly, that's the biggest driver. He was last in third base for errors. He was the worst third baseman in the
last 5 years.
So, I mean, at what point do you trade off? He's not that good of a hitter. If he's an Ohtani, sure. You do whatever you want. You could be DH, but he's not that good to be able to do that, and I feel like this is a good move for him.
Yeah, he's probably the best DH in all of baseball. It's him.
Who's the best?
Devers. It's either him, and then it's Schwarber, and then Marcell Ozuna. Those are the 3 big DHs.
Are we not considering Ohtani a DH anymore?
Oh, yeah. Otani's on a different...
But he's in a different...
he's in a different planet.
I was waiting for you to bring him up.
No, slow planet, yeah.
No. But Ohtani is in his own universe. Him and Judge, I feel like, are the best two players in baseball by far.
Andrew Groves tries in. Maybe he's got room for Blaze Jordan.
Blaze Jordan was drafted out of high school as such a power threat, and he was so athletic looking. He's put on some weight. No, it's not going to be.
He peaked too soon. That
yeah.
He had a 400-foot home run at 13, and they start comparing him to some of the greats.
I'll tell you what, though, Marcelo Meyer looks great at third.
Yes.
He made a beautiful play today, strong arm. He's going to be a future shortstop.
He is. Every game I see him, I think that he looks more and more comfortable. Just the way that he's swinging the bat.
Hit a home run today.
Yeah, like he's looking better and better out there.
Unfortunately, he's probably still 2 or 3 years away from the beginning of his prime. He's 22. And that's what sucks, because I feel like if you can somehow get into the playoffs, you got Garrett Crochet, he can win you 2 games. But without that big bat, I just don't know. I hope they do make it. But it's going to be tough.
Alex Bregman wasn't just brought here for his third base. He was brought here for his leadership.
100%. And he's doing a great job with that.
But I think that he wasn't able to be the leader that they wanted because of Devers. I think he was walking a little bit on eggshells.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to ruffle those feathers yet. But I think now that Devers is gone, you're going to see Bregman take over this clubhouse the way that they wanted.
I think you might have seen that maybe earlier in the year. I think Bregman was like, screw that. Because they already said after the games, Bregman sits down with Campbell, Anthony, and Meyer, and goes over all their at-bats.
Love it.
It's fucking best, right? What's better than that guy? You know, my only fear now is Detroit Tigers had a nice deal on the table for Bregman. He can opt out after 1 year. If he goes to the Tigers, they're a playoff team. They have his manager from Houston. He had a connection with them and with Cora.
We'll cross that bridge when it
comes. I would hate
Bregman wants a championship. He's not going to go to Detroit for that. I mean,
well, you think he's going to stay in Boston?
Boston's got a way better chance than Detroit does.
How? Detroit's going to made the playoffs last year. They're going to make the playoffs this year.
Do you know the Detroit Tigers for the last 30 years?
Doesn't matter. Do you look at the Boston Red Sox this year?
Come on, man.
This is what I like.
Boston always competes.
Always. They haven't competed in years.
They're always. If they make the playoffs, they're a threat. Always.
Detroit.
The Tigers, when they make the playoffs, they're celebrating.
They won a series last year.
The Tigers?
Yes.
You're going to get excited about winning a series.
The Red Sox didn't make the playoffs.
Wait a minute. Didn't Detroit just only win that play-in series?
Yeah.
I think they beat Cleveland, right?
Man.
Did they beat Cleveland? No, the Yankees beat Cleveland.
Detroit.
Who did Detroit beat?
They won the play-in.
The Tigers haven't been anything since Alan Trammell. We're going.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you put Alex Bregman on this Detroit Tigers team, you can't put the Red Sox anywhere near him.
Organizationally, players are set up for championships. The Detroit Tigers are not built to win.
You think this Red Sox team right now is built to win?
It's not the NIL. This is the Major League Baseball.
Do you think this Red Sox team is built to win?
They can win, yes, of course.
How? They haven't won in years.
They've won.
I'm a Yankees fan. I'm arguing about the Red Sox going to be a contender. This is crazy.
They've won more championships in the past 20 years than Detroit.
The last time they won was in 18.
When was the last time Detroit won?
But the Red Sox aren't building this team like the 2018 team. And the 2018 team had Betts. It had J.D. Martinez. They went out and they spent a lot of money.
I'm going to side with Matty on this one because year after year, I have fallen into the Tigers trap. Because I like the Tigers. I've always liked players.
Can we get the Tigers record
But I
this
used
season?
to love Cabrera. No, this is where I fall into the Tigers trap. Because I get sucked into how well they look. And Tony, you're a baseball fan. What happens to the Tigers every time they get into the playoffs?
It doesn't matter what happened when they had Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer.
But I'm saying every year that the Tigers get there, they're like the Maple Leafs. They poop their pants.
Well, I don't think talent-wise they're as good as other teams right now. But you add Alex Bregman, it's a different team.
We just went too far on a Tigers tangent.
No,
I enjoyed
good.
every minute
What's
of it.
their record, Matty P?
Listen, they're 47-27 this year.
Oh,
last year they were third in the AL Central. The year before that they were second.
Okay, last year they made the playoffs.
Fourth.
They're a regular season team.
Well, what is this Red Sox team right now? They're not going to make the playoffs this year.
Last 5 seasons they made the playoffs once.
The Red Sox?
No, the Tigers.
Well, how many times did the Red Sox make it over the last 5 seasons?
Once.
Once, yeah.
I have faith that this Red Sox team
Yeah.
is going to make the wild card.
I hope so.
If you're a pro athlete and you're trying to win a championship, you're not going to Detroit. That is the conversation we're having.
So you're going to walk on to this ownership group.
That's like saying you're going to go to the Colorado Rockies because you think you're not going to do anything with the Rockies.
Yeah, I wouldn't put the Colorado Rockies, the worst team in baseball, in the same category as a team that made the playoffs last year that has 47 wins.
They're both equal in the eyes of Major League Baseball.
What are you talking about? They have 47 wins.
It doesn't matter.
Colorado has 10. You're not even making sense.
Mark this podcast down. When the Detroit Tigers don't make the playoffs this year, we're not going to be surprised.
Put $500 on it. $500.
You're so excited about it.
$500.
You got it.
Detroit Tigers make the playoffs.
Go for it. What's that going to prove other than the fact that you won $500? Does that prove your argument that the Detroit Tigers are a good organization?
No, it proves that they're better suited to win over the next few years than the Red Sox.
You're crazy. Please chime in on that. He's saying that the Detroit Tigers are in a better position than the Red Sox for the future.
For the next few years.
Tony, look at this team. I think now you're getting tape committed on this one.
This was an easy game.
I think that you've drawn a line, and in your brain you're like, no, but now I've gone too far.
No, I don't think so.
I think look at this Red Sox team roster construction wise.
Okay,
what we have between Duran, the three superstars. I shouldn't have said superstars.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Yeah. The three future stars is what I meant to say. And then you have, I think Bregman's going to stick around.
That is a big thing.
I don't think Bregman's going to leave, especially now that Devers out of here. And you just look right now at those 5 players. We have the team that, if they continue to go the way that they're going, this team is you're gonna look back and be like, the Detroit Tigers? No fucking way.
I don't think these guys are going to develop in the next 2. I think it's going to take about 3 years.
Ryan Gray chimes in. Tigers, all right, next 2 years. Red Sox, next 5, hopefully.
Right, but if you're Bregman, you're a little bit older.
But Bregman already had a chance to go to the Tigers, did he not? Didn't Bregman already have a contract on the table with the Tigers?
Yes, and he opted out to go to the Red Sox. He didn't opt out. He signed with the Red Sox, but he left an opt-out.
Right, but he didn't go to the Tigers.
Right,
he chose the Red Sox.
But it was tight. Red Sox gave him 3 years and $120 million.
Yeah. And Jake, Detroit is young. Detroit, and I'm not as far with Matty on this one. I like the Tigers. I like what they're doing, but the Tigers every year let me down, Tony. I have a closet full of Tigers jerseys. I like the Tigers. But every year they're like the Maple Leafs. They have good years.
They haven't been good for that many years.
They suck people in, and then they get in the playoffs, and then they crap their pants.
Well, but you add Alex Bregman to that team, that's a solid team.
Yes, but we're basing all of our theories here on where Alex Bregman goes.
Right. But if I'm Alex Bregman, and I'm looking at, do I want to play on what I think is going to be a 75-win team with the Red Sox now, or would I rather play for a team that won 90 games?
90 games and crap. But he had a chance. I don't even want to go. He turned down the Tigers.
And the reason he turned it down was because of the organization.
No, he turned it down because they gave him $40 million a year, and the Tigers weren't willing to do that.
But the organization thing, I don't think carries as much weight anymore because I think a lot of players look at the Red Sox organization not in the best light.
I don't think they look at it as they did in 2018 and those other teams. Yeah. I think it's different now.
I think they also look at what they're doing with Breslow, and I think a lot of people think Breslow is an idiot. I just think that players now are apprehensive, I think, about coming to the Red Sox because of the organization that we have. And unless the Red Sox change that,
it's the ownership. It's what they've done from Betts to,
right. And I don't blame this Devers thing. I know everybody's hung up on the ownership and the Devers thing. I think that they had to.
I think that's a move you have to make. It was too bad.
We can blame them, and I get it. I am all over them. That's when I lost faith in this organization with the Betts deal. Right? That's a no-brainer. We get it. Bogarts.
You can go either way.
I'm the guy to say give him that Trevor Story contract that he wanted and to stay here. I would have loved that. But, that's split right down the middle.
Right.
With fans. The Devers thing, if you're blaming this on the ownership...
No, I think you had to.
But so many people are blaming it on the ownership. And they're connecting it with Liverpool and all this. Guys, Red Sox money is Red Sox money. Penguins money is Penguins money. Liverpool money is Liverpool.
Care.
Says it all.
Says everything. So I think... Whether you, I don't know if I could have pulled the trigger. I like Devers' bat, but I think they had to do it. To save this team, you had to get him out of here.
And I get it. You look at the return. we all want more return, but they took the money.
That's the
four
biggest
pitches.
return.
If one of those pitches hits, you got it. But you look at other teams, like, I would have loved that Braves trade.
Oh, that was
but the Braves probably wanted them to pick up a ton of money, and I don't think they were going to give up.
It wasn't just the money. They pulled out.
The
Braves pulled out. They didn't want to deal with the Devers bullshit with the team that they have.
And Devers would have to DH there because they have a good defensive third baseman. They have a first baseman that plays every day. So I think they have a little bit of a logjam there. I don't think that was going to work.
And Ethan chimes in, also, who wants to live in Detroit?
Well, I do have a friend that, not a friend, an acquaintance that had a chance to sign with the Tigers, and he said that. I'd rather not live in Detroit.
Jay Fields chimes in, what's with the ownership for all the teams suck now, and including the Celtics? Yeah, we have an ownership problem here in Massachusetts, in New England, with all of our teams. But right now we're on
what covers that up is talent. When you have talent, because we had John Henry in 2018, but we had a lot of talent. We'll see what the new Celtics guy's like.
And you want to crap on, but they went out and signed players. They went out and spend money this year. They addressed
they had a good offseason. They traded for Crochet. They signed Crochet. They signed Chapman, which a lot of people didn't like. He's been great.
I'm one of the ones that wasn't a big fan, and it proved me wrong so far.
And Bregman, I feel like that was a good signing. They had a good offseason. But now you got to back it up with another one, because if not, this team's kind of limited.
I still think this team can catch lightning in a bottle and make the playoffs. I'm going to believe until they prove me wrong.
I hope so. I hope so.
So
the starting staff kind of scares me a little bit. Walker Buehler didn't look good yesterday. They're going to have to run. They don't have a ton of power. Even with Bregman back, there's not a ton of power. So you're going to have to scrap.
But the jury's still out on the power because of Roman Anthony and Meyer.
And then when Cassis comes back, Cassis...
He's not coming back this year.
Oh, he's not coming back at all?
No, he's out for the year. That's why they needed Devers to play first. That's why Campbell was... So he's out for the year.
That's right.
So technically they lost what should have been their top two home run hitters with Devers and Cassis, and then Bregman probably would have been third.
But we still... If Anthony starts to get comfortable and hits the way that he's projected, if Meyer starts to hit the way that he's projected... And Bregman can also swing a bat.
Oh, yeah.
So you have three guys that could carry the load.
Yeah.
And I'm not... I like Abreu. We've talked about him a couple weeks ago. I'm not a...
He's solid.
He's streaky.
Yeah. But you know what? I'd rather see him batting fifth than Meyer. I don't think Meyer's ready yet to bat fifth.
And do you not think Duran's a 20-plus home run hitter?
Not this year. He looks terrible, man. Terrible. 4 homers, strikes out all the time. He was great last year. I got him on my fantasy team. He's kind of killing me a little bit.
Season's still young.
Yeah. I know. Hit a line drive to center at 115 miles an hour today, so hopefully he's snapping out of it. So
got a lot of baseball left. Not even at the All-Star break.
Right.
Yeah.
But Devers in that Giants uniform does look good.
Does he? Does he look good in any uniform?
Yeah.
I don't know. Little chubby.
Frumpy, man. That guy.
Yeah.
You know the damning thing about this, and you mentioned it to us in the group chat too. This weekend in that Yankees series, watching all of the Red Sox cheer each other on, standing at the fence, when guys crossing home plate, when the pitches are coming off the mound, either way, everybody was into it. And then you see the camera pan into the dugout, and you see Devers
sitting
like
down.
This, eating seeds, chewing gum. No, not even. Everybody's up.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there.
And you got Garrett Crochet, who's been here for 4 months, standing like over the railing, cheering.
They were all lined up, and then I didn't realize it was Devers until you said something, and I went back and looked. I go, "That is Devers."
He just sits there. He just care less.
Yeah, not.
It drives me crazy. Like they had him. They had him when he was, 16 years old?
Yeah, he thanked the organization.
He's homegrown. That's what everybody's hurting about.
16 years old. So they deal with the fact that you can't speak English. They help you. They kind of like mold you. And then you turn your back that quick. Yeah.
So Andrew chimes in. Yes, and you know what? I saw this today. Navarez has been a stud. He right now is leading the Red Sox for Rookie of the Year. I think he's... Right now, I think they did the votes, and he was number 2 vote getter, or whatever, however they do it right now for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Yeah, not the Yankees. Because he's defensively he's great, and he's hitting pretty well. He's hitting about 275, and they got him batting fourth.
Yeah.
He's Navaez, right? Is that how do you say his last name?
Oh, I'm the wrong guy on the
Yeah. But defensively, I believe he's the top-ranked catcher in baseball. So he's doing great. Even Aaron Boone was talking about, like, we didn't think he would develop a bat like that.
No. And I just kept hearing his name, and I'm like, this guy is not too bad. And then I saw this today, the standings come up, and I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah. Very solid.
He is in the running for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So, hey, good things to come.
Yeah, so they have 4 rookies playing right now.
Yeah. But that also explains games like yesterday where we only had 2 hits.
Yeah.
And it's aggravating because Devers in his first game yesterday had
2 hits. Yeah. Hopefully Bregman comes back soon. Even Yoshida would help out a little bit just to get a professional bat at the top of the order.
I know we've done a lot about baseball here, so here's some more. Yoshida, I love this because you get him in DH and you can switch off. What side of the plate?
He's a lefty.
So I'm just thinking to him, boost his stats and use him as trade bait. Because right now you can't trade him. He's not worth a thing.
Yeah.
But if he gets into that lineup and even projects somewhere closely to the guy that we wanted, that's another guy that we should be able to get something for and get his, 18 million a year? 19 million a year off the books.
2 more years after this year.
Yeah. You can't do anything with him now because he just sits.
No.
Now he's going to get a chance.
Yeah, he can't play anywhere defensively, and he has a shoulder issue, too.
Yeah.
And I think teams are trying to get away from the station-to-station players like Rafael Devers, the guys that really aren't as athletic. Like, you look at the Yankees, everyone moves. Everyone's pretty athletic. And I think they're trying to get away because Yoshida's very, very slow. And I think they're trying to get away from that. So I think it's going to be tough. It's a bad contract. They signed Story. They didn't sign Bogarts. They signed Yoshida with that money, and I don't think that worked out that well either. Terrible.
No. But they spent the money.
So you got to play him. You know, he's, in my opinion, he's 285, 15 homers. That's all he kind of is. You know, can't play anywhere defensively. So, but it's something.
Dave chimes in with his Bruins minute. Did you guys know that Marchand won a second Stanley Cup last night?
Yeah,
with the Florida Panthers.
He did.
Are we going into the Bruins?
Might as well just take a quick little NHL minute.
All right.
Florida wins another Stanley Cup, and
third straight appearance, second straight win.
And this whole team could be back again.
The Panthers.
The Panthers.
They're still young, right?
Yeah.
With the exception of a few people.
I would say
not that young.
they're younger than us.
Yeah.
They're younger than the Bruins?
No, us.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So they're pretty young. They're in their mid-20s.
I would say they're more of a middle-aged
All right,
team.
right.
Their
But
best line is seasoned. Marchand, there's rumors he's going to come back to Boston. I won't speculate too far.
If he comes back to Boston and brings Bennett with him, man, that would be amazing.
I mean, I don't know.
But why do you want to leave Florida? Why do you want to leave a winning organization that can spend the money? I know they're saying that Marchand's looking for something like $8 million a year.
Oh God, he's not going to get that.
I know, but
Well, Marshy's now a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's put up these stats in this last finals. So the 6 goals, he's done that twice now in his career. He did 5 and then 6. There's only one other player in the last 59 years to do that. It's Mario Lemieux.
he could say anything right now.
Yeah,
He'd be like,
no idea. Yeah.
So Marshy, again, like he's incredible. The reason the whole Boston thing is kind of funny because I think Boston let him go because we had no shot and we needed to get out of the contract and to get something in return. We got everything we needed. In 27, we got that first round pick. He is still very happy with Boston. He was not sour at all. And this, I think, is just icing on the cake. The fact that he goes on to win after that, I don't think there's any animosity, but there's people inside the organization that are talking about the fact that he was a loner to come back. And I think he would in a heartbeat.
Matt, if you bring Marchand back here right now, the way this team is,
It's not good enough.
It's nothing. You're going to be in the same problem that they were last year.
I'm not saying we solve any problems. I'm saying he should finish off as a Bruin. You know, that I think is
now if he comes here with Bennett, I'm all in. I'm all in. Bennett's a guy that would.
Marshy's a scrappy player. He's a great leader, but he's not the guy that lights up the place. It's a big deal for him to score 6 goals in that Stanley Cup Finals because he's not the guy that's supposed to be doing that. Specifically on the Panthers, with all that offensive power, it's just.
We were hoping when he got traded that he would come back from injury and this team would at least make the second round so we could get a second-round pick.
We got the first round.
Now we know how far they went. It's just incredible.
That's how dangerous they are. But, Florida, there you go. There's a team that, the fans could care less. You talk about a winning organization between the Panthers and the Lightning. Florida just doesn't care about hockey.
There's more Bruins
they win
fans.
So many Stanley Cups. It's nuts.
There's more Bruins fans right now that love the Panthers than I think there is in
Florida.
Florida.
Absolutely.
Well,
all the transplants.
Well, that's it. Everybody they already have their team, the Rangers, the Islanders, the
Florida
Bruins.
just doesn't like cold weather, so they're not big hockey fans, right?
Yeah.
So Ethan chimes in on my next point here. So with the Oilers' loss, I think this sets up should be a Swayman trade. Get out of the Swayman contract. You should be on the phone right now with the Oilers because they are a goalie away. They have everything and all the talent on that team with nobody who can stop the puck. And I just think it's perfect and set up. Like, they need Swayman. We need to get out of the Swayman contract.
Is that a total start of a reset? If you get rid of...
For us, no. And that opens up a lot of money. We have some good goalies down low.
Okay.
I don't know the names of them, but I happened to see on Instagram today.
All right. So
a few things with the goalies and stuff like that. And, Dave bagged out of the show, so he can't back me up on that.
Listen, there's young talent in the organization. But, I mean, I think it's an interesting trade. I think the Oilers are going to have some options. But Skinner, if you guys saw the third goal that Skinner gave up, it was so shocking that the announcers didn't know what to do. The teams didn't know what to do. He stood up and took it off of his shoulder in slow motion and gave it to the Panthers. I mean, just fed it to a stick. All he had to do was, you're talking slow motion, just catch the puck. It wasn't a challenging play, but that was the end of the series. Literally, they were in it. That goal, they were done. There's no recovery.
So Dave, Jake, everybody else chime in here with these ridiculous things. Draisaitl or McDavid for Swayman. Guys, they're not trading either of those guys here.
It's going to be like a Devers thing, right? You take the contract and give us a bag of pucks.
Yeah, because Swayman, granted,
terrible.
Granted, in this, whatever the fakakta thing that he played this summer, looked pretty good in this nation. Not the Four Nations, but whatever they were playing this summer.
The
World Cup of hockey. He looked pretty good.
But he had a bad year. Yeah, he had a bad year.
I think the bad year came from the beginning. The agent screwed him up. We let go of Allmark too soon. He gave him that call. He says, "Hang on, we're going to get more money." That wasn't his demeanor. And it turned out to really destroy the entire season. But I don't think Swayman's done, and I don't think we should give up on him this easily. But honestly, I don't know who's going to take on that contract with the amount of talent that's coming up into the NHL. So that's kind of what's going to be tough for a team like the Oilers, is to take on that kind of, contract for somebody that's not yet proven. That's tough.
And you got 7 years left.
They need a goalie so bad, though. So bad.
Somebody's getting paid.
What is
that you, Matty P? You selling cards?
eBay sales?
No, it's
You better sell $500 worth because these Detroit Tigers, they're making the playoffs.
Jake chimes in. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins would be nice. You watch a lot of hockey, so yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. Jake, you got it.
Yep.
So you have up there, you got Sam Bennett winning the Conn Smythe over Brad Marchand. Did you see, why that was the right choice?
He beat him in goals.
Well, he beat him, but play-wise, it was incredible. He had I think he had 16 goals for the series.
I don't know. I'm partial to Brad. I wanted Brad to win it.
It's a better story. Better for the podcast. Don't give a shit about total goals.
Well, listen, last year, McDavid won with the loss, right? So that's
didn't know that.
One of the few really, geez, that was a big one. It's one of the few sports, outside of hockey, you don't see stuff like that. Baseball used to do it way back in the heyday. Was it the 1960 World Series? The Yankees lose to the Pirates, and
I don't know. I didn't watch
Bobby Richardson. Really, Bobby Richardson won that one, so you can look that one up.
Before '88, nothing existed to me. That's when I was 8 years old and started watching sports.
88.
Before that,
Yeah.
no, could care
It's
less.
crazy. They have all these things on video now. You can watch.
Have you gone back and watched 80s hockey, basketball, football, anything? It is
I watched
awful.
it. I watched it.
Just
It's awful.
during COVID.
Yes.
Yeah, it was terrible.
During
It was
COVID,
terrible.
the greatest stuff to
80s
watch.
basketball is awful.
Yes.
Oh man.
No, I could watch Celtics.
Yeah.
Celtics, Lakers.
Man,
That's it.
Yeah. Well, or the
You're gonna watch the 80
The
Pacers
Bulls?
and
No,
Nuggets?
no, no, no.
man. Guys punching each other in the face.
Yeah, a little bit
going
more
up for the
physical.
leg. Yeah. We're a softer league now, you know?
Yeah.
All right, get out of hockey. You guys
Get out
hate
of
it.
hockey.
You made it through.
Yeah, we got an NBA Finals, Caitlin Clark and Karen Reed to get. So NBA Finals Game 6, no Haliburton.
I just heard.
I was going to say he was a game time.
I just heard game time decision.
I could care less if he's playing or not.
Yeah.
No
Well,
Haliburton.
he didn't play in Game 5.
Yeah.
Seems like
34 minutes.
Yeah.
He had a Luke Cornett game.
Yeah.
Zeros across the board.
He's known for that. Like there's one game every series where he just doesn't show up.
But watching him in that series, I'm like, something's off with this guy. He just wasn't moving right. And then Rick, for as much as everybody gives Rick Carlisle credit for coaching the Pacers and putting them in positions to win, he lost that game.
Yeah, I didn't watch. I was watching the Red Sox actually. Red Sox
I don't
Mariners.
understand.
That's how much I don't care about this.
Haliburton struggling. They're trying to force him the ball in the final minutes. Pascal Siakam is having a great game. You pull him out. Like I don't understand what they're doing. And then you got T.J. McConnell. You got Haliburton's backup having a great game. Finished the game with like 18 points.
I think McConnell's hurt too.
Yeah, well, like why were you not letting him play? Like he lost that game for the Pacers because they were in a position to win that game, and that's a game you needed to steal.
Oh, 100%.
So I think with the way Haliburton's, I think they could still steal Game 6 and win with Haliburton the way he is, but they're not winning Game 7. The series is now all OKC.
Yeah.
So
OKC's won 2 in a row, correct?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Series is over.
Yeah.
They play tomorrow night, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I can still see them eking this one out and
I
pushing
hope
it
so.
to 7, but
Hope
I don't
so.
see them winning 7.
Yeah.
So SGA the other day, this is pretty crazy. Did you see him stayed at the stadium and signed 429 autographs?
I saw a
after the
reel.
game?
Yeah, that's.
Saw that reel on the Probably Wrong podcast page.
Oh, is that where I saw it? Nice job, Mike. But you know what? That's what pro athletes should do.
Yeah.
Because you don't really do much.
No.
Like you play a sport. You should sign on, especially when there's if it's adults. Yeah, they don't need autographs.
And just the way he
Little
did
kids,
it, I'm like,
you should do it.
why don't want? He just started here.
Yeah,
everyone
good
put up,
for
and he
him.
just went right through
Good
it.
for
I'm
him,
like,
good for
dude,
him.
Like that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. They should do more of that. I don't know where that gets lost. Like you grow up as a kid wanting to be a pro athlete. You're making tons of money. You don't have to worry about anything financially. Not only do you not have to, generation after generation after generation doesn't have to worry about any money. You can give back to these people that pay your salary.
Let me ask you. Imagine every time you walked out of your house.
I would do it every fucking time.
Really?
100%. My number one dream job is to be a greeter at Walmart because I feel like I would just like to talk to people and spend time with people that aren't.
I feel like you can achieve that. Yeah, you can definitely get there.
You also got to remember, the more fans that you have, the more money you're worth. The more your jersey sales, the more
I
ways
just don't
you're
think
able to
people
get.
understand the strain of signing. It's not like you're sitting in a controlled environment and you're just signing your name. You guys are making it too simplified. You're dealing with real people on the fly. You're dealing with people putting stuff in your face, grabbing your jerseys, pushing people out of the way.
That comes with the
Understand?
territory.
But at what point are they allowed to push back and say, like, this is
You're
crazy?
not.
But I would say if I'm at a mall and people are coming up to me, not the time. But after a game and you're in, it was more of a
But
controlled
that's
down.
the problem is there is no off time.
Yeah.
I
No
think
matter
if
where they are.
You put yourself in a mall with who you are.
Right.
You're
right,
signing.
Right. Yeah.
And now it'd be one thing if you're at dinner or like
Yeah,
how Eminem used to say people used to come bother him in the bathroom.
Yeah,
or he's with his kids at dinner and stuff. Yeah, I get that. That's where you can be like,
But
guys,
he was in front of the crowd, right?
Yes.
After a game,
Yeah.
and it was kind of controlled.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that needs to happen more often.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it would fill my soul to see a young kid so happy and fired up that I signed his card. I would feel really good about that. And
I just think if you put yourself in the environment you see, I've been exposed to a lot of those things, and you could see the stress in an hour signing for what they go through because you're not understanding how intense those engagements are. So, trust me, I'm all for the signings, but I think people that have never experienced it have no idea how intense it is.
My brother was at a restaurant in Florida, and he saw Shaq. And
Shaq probably signed.
Yeah, Shaq signed every single autograph. My brother said he was there for like 2.5 hours.
But
Shaq's
I think it's
different.
Shaq is.
But you could be Shaq. Anybody.
But he's one of those guys that has a mentality where he's going places. He's like, I'm going to sign autographs. I'm going to go to dinner. I'm going to bang out all.
And when Shaq's done, he walks away. He's a big dude. You can't just walk away from these mobs. Shaq will just go like this and part the seat.
Yeah, but SGA is 6'6". Like, he's not a small, like.
He's very dainty compared to Shaq.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I'm saying, if you look at him at a basketball court, you're like, oh, he's dainty. But if SGA walked in this room right now, you'd be like,
holy crap.
Shaq's personality has been the same coming up through the ranks. He's always done this.
My brother's friend is related to her grandfather's George Mikan. And when my brother told her the story, he goes, yeah, Shaq 100. She said, my grandfather used to talk to him about that. He said, you got to always give back to these people because it's because of these people that we have what we have.
Yeah.
So there are athletes that do it. I would 100% do it. Because what else do you have to do? You don't have to do anything. When you have that kind of money, it's not like, oh, I got to go pay this bill and I got to do. You don't have to do anything.
Yep. They want to be with their family. Again, just because you make a lot of money and you're doing so why can't we do this to, big executives? They don't have to sign for things. They make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Nobody cares about big executives.
Nobody wants their signature.
Nobody follows up in it. That's a completely
It's
different.
a double standard. So what? We're
not a double standard.
We're correlating it to money. We're saying because they're getting paid so much.
It's not
freedom.
a double standard.
You have freedom of time.
It's sports. We root and watch these guys and idolize. Not saying it's what it is. We don't watch executives of companies and idolize.
Agreed, but that's a you problem. That's not a them problem.
No, that's not a me problem.
They have a job to play basketball. They don't have a job to entertain you and sign autographs.
It is. It's entertainment.
Yeah, it is. And then
on the court, that's what they get paid for. But honestly, you guys are not understanding. There's no boundaries.
I think we just think different. I feel like these fans pay the salaries.
Yeah.
So you got to give back.
So you're saying that each one of these guys should be staying 2 hours after every game to sign autographs. You think that that's fair?
I know the Celtics sign a lot before games, and I think they're out there for a good amount of time. Not all of them, but Tatum's out there, and
Porzingis used to be out there for a while. I think the only one that's not usually out there for a long time.
There's a family dynamic that you're missing. These guys want to spend time with their families. I don't know why people discredit that.
But they're not working an 8-hour day. They're signing autographs for 2 hours.
You really think professional athletes have they're doing nothing? They're just playing video games.
So
this is great. You guys, no, this is a serious conversation. I love this.
No, they're at my buddy has season tickets. He shows me all the autographs he gets. Those guys sign autographs. The only ones that they had issues with were Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. He said the rest of the guys, they're out there all the time signing autographs. Horford and Porzingis. And his son has, I want to say, 50-something Tatum autographs. Yeah. They're out there doing it. They're doing it before games. It's probably less people.
Does somebody need 50 autographs of the same person? This is part of the problem with the signings. Why do you need 50? If you're a fan, you get one.
I mean,
they're monetizing off of the same thing that you guys are talking about.
No, but he goes to every game. It's not like he gets 50 in one shot. He goes to every game, and
it's still the same.
No, it's not the same. If he hits 50 items, sign all 50 items. It's one item.
Every time you go to a game, like your kid, I want this signed. Oh, can I get this signed? Can I get this signed? Can I get this signed? And then he hangs it all up in his room.
There's no end state, but just understand, there's never an end for what you're saying. That they should always be open to the public to be able to sign. Because we're their fans and we're paying for their tickets.
And Andrew, you're right. Yes, the sad part of it, in which does ruin it a lot of it, is that most people are going to sell what he signed.
I get it. If you're a genuine fan, you want one autograph, great. That's not the scenario that we're talking about. The people that are hawking these guys are the guys that are selling on eBay. Listen, a Wemby jersey swap for a little kid. The guy sold a jersey for like $20,000. It was everywhere. And Wemby was holding up this little kid's jersey, and this kid. Father sold a game-used Wemby jersey that was publicized for doing something amazing.
Yeah.
And then,
but I would sign for the kids. I would 100% sign for the kids,
so the
not
thing
for
with
the
that
adults.
is a lot of adults
use the kids. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm just saying it's more complex than it's not a yes or no, for sure.
It's just not the fantasy world that I want to live in.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, I'll never be famous enough to know, but I've been around some.
All right, we're really running out of time here.
All right, we have Karen Reed, right?
All right.
We have Caitlin Clark. We got a lot going on.
All right.
Whatever you want.
Detroit Tigers.
I know Detroit Tigers and autographs really do a lot out. You know?
Tariq Scuba.
What a man, Dave. Be careful. Man. He's really bringing the fire in this seat.
Come on.
He's gonna be working the counter for you.
You just got Wally Pip. You got Wally Pip.
So Caitlin Clark, big return against New York over the weekend.
Yeah.
They brought in 2.2 million viewers for that game. Stanley Cup brought in 2.7.
Wow. For a regular season WNBA game. And yet these people are trying to tell us we're not only watching because of Caitlin Clark. Come on. And she did not disappoint.
No.
25 points in the first half. She was in fuego.
She knew she had to bring it, too.
Yeah, and
You should put that number against what the average league is, and it's even crazier.
It's
the average WNBA?
I would love to see that number probably,
They don't sell
thousands.
The only other games that, as much as we hate Angel Reese, she does put fans in the seats, but nothing compared to what Caitlin Clark does.
No, not even close.
Paige Buckes puts fans in the Dallas seats right now. They're selling out games, but it's not consistent. When she goes to other arenas, it's not like Caitlin Clark.
No.
Caitlin Clark is...
She's like Shohei Ohtani in a way.
It's a great,
and not even like she's the female Shohei Ohtani. She's almost like Shohei Ohtani. Like I've had... do we want to know?
Ethan just chimes in. He goes, I'm taking off topic here, but he goes, I love Tony, but I feel like his buddy is Bob Sacamano from Seinfeld, Kramer's friend that we never saw.
No, my one of my best friends was good friends with Cal Pavano. So Cal Pavano had the 4-year deal. Is that what he's talking about?
But I do agree, because every week it's either my buddy or my friend.
Yeah. So my buddy played Major League Baseball for 7 years.
I meant my brother or my friend.
Yeah. So one of my good friends has the record for wins at Pawtucket and played Major League Baseball for 6 or 7 years.
Now he's just showing off. That's
no, I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
All right, so I'm going to give a quick stat. Don't hold me to it, but it's funny to see this. So viewership was down 55% since Caitlin Clark's quad injury, falling from 1.8 million per game to roughly 850,000.
Yeah.
And before her injury, they averaged 1.8 million viewers, without her dropping on an average to 847,000. That is a massive.
Yeah, and I bet you out of that 840 something, is that Indiana games?
No, that's WNBA.
WNBA games. I was going to say
that's how big the effect is.
Because,
because it's terrible basketball.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to watch,
and it has nothing to do with being a woman. It's just we call it what it is.
It's funny though. Like I watch some women's softball, and you watch them, and they look very athletic. And you see women play tennis. They look very athletic. You put these women on a basketball court, they don't look athletic at all, with the exception of just a few of them.
Do you know what? It's funny because you're talking about the women things that look athletic. Do you remember that lingerie league that football that they had?
I don't remember it.
Oh, it was huge. They'd have pads on, but they play in lingerie.
It's like the
Those
XFL.
Girls look more athletic than the WNBA players.
These wrestlers, the wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh, they're on a different plane.
But those are great athletes.
Yeah. You have to be a great athlete to be a wrestler.
You would think you'd have to be a great athlete to make the WNBA.
You would think.
Jokic. Jokic is as unathletic as from a body standpoint.
But that's different because he understands the game.
Yeah, he's playing at an IQ much higher than most people.
Making these
and
passes.
7 feet tall.
Agreed. Stuff. But if we're going off of the looks on the
that's
court,
one guy.
But have you seen?
Gotta be other guys.
Right.
Have you seen some of these women try to make passes in the WNBA?
Oh, yes.
I would be afraid to sit in the front row.
Yeah, and it's like 90% of them.
Oh my God.
And then you watch Caitlin Clark, and it's like, wow.
You look, this is it. You see people in the fans go, oh.
Dude, she made a perfect pass the other day right into this girl's hands, and she just dropped it. And I'm like, dude, that's a turnover on Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
It's tough. It's tough.
But I think it's getting better. I think they're bringing in better players.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, and
Dave watches highlights.
Well, Dave has a card. He has a card. So there are new people coming in that are a little bit better.
Yes, yeah.
So you're getting rid of the old, and hopefully sooner rather than later.
All right. End of the show. We got 8 minutes left. Let's fill it.
Karen Reed. All right. I don't know much. I haven't really watched this time around.
We don't know much about any of the topics that we talk about.
I know a lot about the Detroit Tigers.
Probably wrong. This is good.
So the verdict came out today, and she was found guilty of OUI, operating. Is it operating under influence?
Under the
So
influence?
let me ask you this: Did they give her a breathalyzer?
I think they did in the morning, like 9 a.m., and she was still over the legal limit.
But was she like driving, or did they just happen to get her at her house?
I don't know, but it does show her backing out of John's garage. So at some point, she was driving.
But
I know it's weird to get
I think she may have admitted to it. I think she was very honest about, like, I can. It's why she kind of went along with some of the narrative, because she's like, did I maybe do this? Did I accidentally run over my husband and not realize?
was it husband?
No, boyfriend.
Sorry. But again, that's how much I know. But yeah, I think she actually admitted to it, and she obviously was looking for her boyfriend, and so was dealing with the police. So maybe that's how they knew, but somebody on here is probably going to...
Yeah, I know when they did take it, I don't know if it was at the hospital, I don't know when they did it, but she was still over the legal limit, and it was at like 9 in the morning, I want to say. So at some point, she was driving over the legal limit. So they got her on an OUI.
She wasn't drinking Coors Light then. That's one hell of a...
I still think that's probably the hardest thing to prove. Imagine that'd be like the next.
But she's probably like, I'll take it. I'm out of this crap.
Yeah.
That's why people flee the scene. You know, they're hoping that they can hide for long enough before that happens.
Yeah, but even at the next morning, like,
yeah,
I don't know. They come to my house and they test me, and I was drinking this morning.
Yeah.
I'm an alcoholic.
There's a way out of it.
I wasn't driving. I came home last night and started pounding.
Right.
I think she said it, and then because they would have had to do like blood work. I mean, for it to stay in the system for that long, wouldn't you agree? It's not I don't think a breathalyzer that many hours after. I just don't know from when the incident happens to, was it 3 a.m. and they tested her at 9? I mean,
I don't know. I think we're focusing on the wrong thing here.
Well, she's innocent. That's the right thing, which is what everybody's been screaming about, is that she didn't kill anybody. OUIs happen every day. It's terrible, but...
What do you mean? Oh, okay. I see. You're just changing the charge. I got you.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I mean, she's either going to jail for life or she's going to have a fine for what it is. This brought the corruption of police, and I don't want to get into that topic whatsoever, but that's what's in the limelight, is how easy it is to manipulate something that is not true. When somebody wants something to change, they can do it.
Yeah.
When they have the powers to.
Yeah. So I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, and that's the most...
Listen, it's not going to be over, but it's over for her.
I think it's over.
Yeah.
Because there's no evidence. Yeah. There's no evidence against her. There's no evidence against them. All the evidence has been destroyed. I don't think the state... They just wasted tax dollars twice for nothing.
For an OUI charge.
And I don't think they have enough evidence to bring... Who are they going to bring evidence against? All the evidence has been destroyed. It sucks. So this guy dies... And that's it.
Yeah.
But I think that's where
happens all the time, though.
Somebody's going to break down the line. Somebody's going to say something that they weren't supposed to, or just feel so guilty. I don't
know. I think you say someone's going to say something they're not supposed to. I think that's probably already said. I think the story's already out there, but it's just like you don't know what to believe.
Yeah, if you don't have the evidence to support the story, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's people there, so to say that somebody didn't see what happened is the wrong thing. It's just those people that were in the house, are they all going to live with this secret for the rest of their lives? Or are they going to come?
What do you think? Yes.
Well, I mean, at this point, you're guilty. If you held in an infinite, you're going to jail too. So, yeah, of course they're not going to say anything.
Yeah, but if one of those guys came out and, let's just say, tells Tony everything that happened, what's that going to do?
I ain't going to say this.
But I
ain't dealing with those cops.
Let's just say you did. Let's just say you ran right to the police and said, so-and-so just told me X, Y, and Z, this and that. What are they going to do with it?
Well, that's hearsay. You're right. You have no evidence.
That's what I mean.
But they have to back it up with something. If they can put the story together, which then makes sense to what they have there, yeah. And I don't know if they did.
They've been trying.
The evidence that fast?
They got rid of the SIM cards. They got rid of the dog. They dug up the floor. They did a lot. They sold the house.
They did it to protect the police. That's crazy. There's no doubt about it.
Well, it was the police that did that.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, literally, it's a terrible tragedy. But
yeah, well,
so we freed Karen Reed. We could say that. So
yeah, I don't think we'll ever. I think it's just the unfortunate part is this guy lost his life, and
no one will ever know the truth.
No one will ever. So the family doesn't know the truth. Right, and nobody pays the consequences.
They
probably.
I'm sure all believe their truths. They're sure they all have their truths. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm sure they're sold on what happened in their minds, and and then there are people on the other side that are completely sold that no. So, but all right, we're up against it.
Oh.
Great show.
Whew, good work.
Thanks for filling in.
My man from Detroit over there.
That's right. $500 richer.
I love it. Thank you, guys.